But that's one thing. I'm glad I got your perspective on that. And now I wanted to get into another topic that I wanted to ask you about. So I know, what people who don't know, Malcolm has interviewed like a lot of cool people. Like he's interviewed recently Nakia Burrise, the original one of the Yellow Rangers from Power Rangers Zeo, Power Rangers Turbo. If you haven't seen that already, go ahead and check that out on his channel. And he's interviewed other people from different Comic Cons, like Jason David Frank and other people that are escaping my mind right now. But if you go to his YouTube channel, you can look at all the different interviews. So I just wanted to ask Malcolm, someone who is a content creator, how do you go about interviewing these particular artists or actors at these different cons?
Well, mainly, when you go to a con and you do media content, you apply for what's called a press pass.
Mm-hmm.
No different than you see the different people on the red carpet at major Hollywood events. Those people are considered press or media. So when I go to these cons, some people you can interview, some people you can't. But it's all about having that knack on what you're going to do and who you're going to interview, and following rules if there may be rules at that said convention.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I try to reach out and network to people even when I'm not at a Comic Con. So
Mm-hmm.
most people I've interviewed sitting in my living room or sitting right here in the studio, and getting those interviews out and getting those conversations done and play and blotched all over the internet. So it really comes with having a good following, having a body of work for people to look at the same time. So that's really where it comes in.
Okay, that's actually amazing because it's funny. Like now that I've started everything in Momentum Mini, I definitely want to start interviewing people, and people who are just starting out on YouTube. Malcolm does this awesome panel at different Comic Cons. He's going to be at Pensacon, so will I, and he will be doing a panel called "How to Get Started on YouTube." And for people who don't know Malcolm, just give us a brief synopsis of how you go about starting on YouTube.
So it's called the What It Takes to Be a YouTuber panel. So it will be at Pensacon next Saturday, 4 o'clock, and in the Pensacola Grand Hotel, right across the street from the Pensacola Bay Center.
Mhm.
Um, you got to have just the simple necessities. And that comes with depending on knowing how you're going to be recording, whether you're going to be using a laptop webcam or like me, 95% of the videos I do are on my phone. I'm doing this interview right now from my phone. Get you some good sound equipment. I use lapel mics. It's a lot of small things that go into it that a lot of people think they have to have so much money to do, and it
Mhm.
really isn't. So
Mhm.
if you guys want to know those tools to the trade, come by my panel next weekend at Pensacon.
And that's next weekend, you guys, 4 o'clock on Saturday at Pensacon at the Grand Hotel, right across from the Pensacola Bay Center. I will definitely be at Pensacon on Friday. Momentum Media will be there, and so it's really cool that you guys started doing these interviews. So I just wanted to know. I know you told me previously you was a previous organization. And I know you got, and I know since you started your own thing at Fandoms Anonymous, you basically just continue to do your own thing along with these interviews. Were you ever nervous about reaching out to like Jason David Frank? And if anyone who doesn't know Jason David Frank is, you're literally under a rock. But Jason David Frank is the original Green Ranger, White Ranger, Red Ranger, Power. Like he's like the best Power Ranger ever. His name is Tommy. Was it? Oh, and I see your original Green Ranger helmet, which is dope. Just dope. I just wanted to know: were you ever nervous reaching out to these people to do these interviews?
Of course, you're gonna be nervous, but you have to be bold inside you. It's okay to be nervous and bold at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be nervous because this is a celebrity. This is somebody that's large in life. That's been on television. That's in the industry. That's in this genre. So reaching out to somebody like that, there is a sense of nervousness that comes with that. But at the same time, if you're trying to handle business, you know what you're there to do. You know what you're setting out to do. So a lot of times, I might follow somebody for a good little minute before I just jump in an inbox or shoot an email, and hey, see how it goes. And if you get that opportunity, you get that opportunity.
Okay, that's what's up. You know, it's funny. It's funny that you say that because like I really want to get into something, get into what you're doing in regards to interviewing people. And I know for me, like when last year was my first time going to Pensacon, and just me meeting people like the original Power Rangers and Jason David Frank and John Barham and all these guys that I've looked up to for the last, like I'm 25, the last 20 years. And it was so nerve wracking just to stand there and take pictures
Yeah,
with them. You know, it was just really
yeah,
cool to see your heroes. You know, um, so the next and final topic that I want to get into is something that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. My heart. I'm a huge DC fan, and me and Malcolm are really good friends, and we have this conversation off camera all the time. And I just want to let Malcolm start, but I want you, and I'm gonna pose the question of currently as it sits right now in 2019. What do you think about the DCEU, or can we even call it the DCEU anymore?
no,
Like,
no, they are headed for the pits of Hades. Nobody knows what they're doing over there. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back. I believe people know what they're doing, but the people that are doing the doing don't need to be doing the doing. And I'm talking about those big people in those suits up in those offices that don't know what they're doing with these movies. It should not be left up to you. If and we have to. Of course, I don't want to always compare Marvel, throw Marvel in that hat, but they've given the formula. They show the formula of how it should work. You got Kevin Feige. Okay, Kevin Feige is up here. He's the head. He's the one that makes sure everything goes to plan. Although he does give his directors free range, he also has a constructive control. There's a difference between control and constructive control. Control is just, I don't like it, don't do that, don't do that part of the movie, don't do this at all, we're not going to do this. Constructive control is, I like what you're doing, but because we have to keep this a certain way, I need you to do this. And that's the difference between the two companies. They got Walter Hamada over there who's supposed to be running everything, but to me he's just a name and a figurehead because I really don't see anything coming out of it right now. You got all these movies that they've named. You created this brand new intro to show in front of these movies, and when I first saw that intro I said, you're gonna show this intro, that means you are committing to show these characters in these upcoming movies. You give me an intro that basically looks like y'all just remastered the Justice League Unlimited intro. That's really what it looks like, And now there's no Superman, there's no Batman, there's technically right now no Flash because there's no Flash. You got a Shazam movie coming out. You got Jared Leto, who's just came out and no longer will be the Joker. That's dropped. Every week there's something else about this organization that's just continuing to drive in the pits. Now, what does DC run? Television and animated movies. Maybe they just need to stick with that and put all these characters on TV because it's not working with the movies.
you know, it's so funny that you say that because I completely agree with everything you just said. And here's the thing for me: when they start announcing after Justice League, and even during the press run of Justice League, when they started announcing these oddball projects like Birds of Prey, a Joker movie, a Robin, no, not a Robin movie, a Nightwing movie, a Batgirl movie, a Flashpoint movie. Okay, the only now, and I've said this many of times on all my different shows that I have on my channel, but I've said that first of all, if you're going to make a cinematic universe, they don't necessarily have to be connected,
Nope.
but they have to serve the universe. Birds of Prey doesn't make any sense to me.
Nope.
A Joker movie that's outside of the DCEU that has no connection to anything
Nope.
doesn't make sense to me. A Nightwing movie / Deathstroke movie doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Don't get me wrong; these are amazing characters. If you read their comic book runs, like Nightwing's comic book run is amazing. Birds of Prey comic book run, amazing. I think Deathstroke has his own comic book run as well. These are really good comic books to adapt from. But the fact that you guys are doing individual movies, that doesn't make any sense. So I remember back in 2015, 2014, 2015, when they announced BVS, and I remember how they were going to set up their DCEU, where when they called out their slate, where they were going to do a Cyborg movie, a Flash movie, a Wonder Woman movie, and then Superman and a Batman movie were not in the slate, but they were going to be in the mix, right? Now that everything has fallen apart from the last two movies that they've released, which were Justice League and BVS, Wonder Woman was actually great.
Right.
Uh, I don't personally, I don't see how you can continue a cinematic universe with your ancillary characters like Wonder Woman, Shazam, Aquaman. And by the way, I've seen Aquaman. Aquaman was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't do a review on it, but it was okay.
Yeah.
I I don't see how it made $1 billion, but it made $1 billion. And also, I'm okay if it does or doesn't make a sequel. But the point I'm getting at is that DC has made, and Warner Brothers have made these oddball choices.
No, I take that back. Warner Brothers
Yeah,
has made these choices.
right. Warner Brothers.
That's it's their spearheading and
Right,
their control, non-constructive control, that has caused it to go away. Because at the end of the day, DC is going to be DC.
right,
Because
right.
if we're saying Warner Brothers and DC, then that means that everything that else under DC should be following the wayside. And last time I checked, these animated movies and TV shows are always on point.
Exactly, because
You
like
know,
when I look at the CW, I think the CW
woo,
should be literally a spearhead in terms of marketing movies or any form of TV, because they are geniuses of how they put together their cinematic TV universe. Like every crossover that we have seen, from Flash versus Arrow up into the Elseworlds crossover, was
yeah,
amazing. Amazing. And I even said, not the Elseworlds crossover, but the crossover before that, Crisis on Earth X. I said when that came out, when I watched all four of those episodes, I said, hey, Warner Brothers, if you're going to make a Justice League movie, this is how you need to do it.
yeah, easy.
This is how you need to do it. I find it so odd that your TV counterparts, because mind you, Warner Brothers owns the CW.
Wait, take away that counterpart word, because they don't associate anything with the TV, and let them tell
Exactly, exactly.
it.
They don't, but it's funny. It's like if you go to the CW, it's a Warner Brothers company,
True.
and yet they don't want to be associated with it. But I'm like, your TV company is doing better with the characters than you are doing with your movies. I find that odd. Well, mind you, here's the thing, and I told one of my friends this. I said, since we've had Superman on TV for the last 10 years, because Superman has been on TV, live action and animated, I wouldn't be surprised, and by the end of 2019 or 2020, we'll see a Batman on TV, and for these reasons. Listen, I don't know what Matt Reeves is going to do with this Batman movie. I am interested in it because Batman is my favorite DC character. And I think Ben Affleck did a good job as Batman, but now he's not going to be Batman. But
Yeah, and that's their fault too.
exactly, exactly. So my thing is that I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Batman on TV, because it's getting to a point where nobody's going to continue watching these movies if they're going to continue to be crap. And
Yeah.
when I look at the CW, like I said, it's such a roadmap of really good TV, really good content from characters that you wouldn't normally expect to be great. Like if you read any Green Arrow comic books, for the most part, they're not that great. But what they've done with the TV show is amazing. What they've done with the Flash, same with the Flash. I want to say about Flash's first few runs were amazing. But if you continue to read some of his stuff, some of it doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
But the TV show, it's amazing. Same with Black Lightning. Same with even with Legends. I'm not really a huge fan of Legends, of what they've done for the last couple seasons. But I
Mhm.
have to say that what they've done on the show is amazing. Not a huge fan of Supergirl either, but I can acknowledge that what they've done on TV is
Mhm.
pretty good.
Mhm.
So with that being said, I even look at their streaming service, the DC, I think it's called DC Nation or
DC Universe.
DC Universe. So I don't have a subscription and I haven't seen anything they put out, but I have seen some Titan episodes and I have seen Young Justice and some of the new Young Justice stuff. And what they're doing, especially on Young Justice, is amazing. Oh my God, this is the best we've seen from Young Justice. But from what they're doing for Titans, it's starting to look like they're DC movies. And I don't know if you've seen Titans yet.
I haven't.
Oh my God. Like, don't get me wrong. Some of the stuff is cool from the most part. But, bro, like, what they're doing does not make any sense. These are not the Titans that we grew up watching at all. And I get it. You want to take it to an R-rated TVMA run. I get that. We could do that. But Robin is not an R-rated character. You cannot have him dropping F-bombs all the time. And here's the thing. I get it that at some point that Robin becomes Nightwing because of him and Batman's falling out. But the way they portrayed Robin in the Titans, he like hates Batman. And to a point that is very authentic in the comics, but the way they are playing it out in this show is not real, and it's not like you don't hate the man every day. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like it just doesn't make any sense. So, but anyway, since I've gone on this rant, I wanted to ask you, since DC is still continuing to put out this crap, what projects are you actually interested in?
I'm interested in the one that actually shows up on the marquee at the theater. Because anything they tell me is coming out, I don't believe it.
That's true.
So when I see a trailer for, not how you taking it further, you show me a trailer, I'll be interested in it. So right now I'm interested in Shazam. That's the only recent trailer I've seen from DC.
Me too. I'm actually really interested in
because
Shazam.
You told me I'm gonna have a Green Lantern Corps movie, and I can make a movie out of my Green Lantern Corps Funko Pops by the time they make a movie.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm still waiting on that Flashpoint movie.
That really pissed me off. Then they say they're not doing Flashpoint.
Exactly.
Because as you can see, Green Lantern is my dude.
Right.
My hand's in the wrong spot. There it goes. That glows in the dark.
right. That's dope. Like, I love my favorite Green Lantern aside from Jon Stewart because that's my bro. I really like Kyle Gaynor's Green Lantern because he's like Deadpool Green Lantern in my opinion. Like I love him. Like he's amazing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you with the whole thing of DCU. This is just a question that I've been getting all through my social media. Do you think they should just reset the whole thing?
It's too late now because I'm not gonna say it's too late. You can do that, but for what? What are you gonna do after that? That's the question. If you don't even know what you're doing now, what are you gonna do after if you make that decision? Right. And that's where it goes to come into compromise with the whole just thing as a whole. It's just all out of order. It's all out of order.
Right. Personally, if they retcon the DCEU, because now that James Gunn is doing the Suicide Squad, he said it's going to be like a soft reboot of whole different characters.
Okay, now that I trust because I trust James Gunn.
Yeah, I trust that. I trust that. But my thing is that when you say soft reboot, are we ignoring the events of the first movie, or
And I'm gonna say this because James Gunn has order and discipline. I'm gonna take James Gunn's soft reboot to be I'm looking at what you do and don't have right now. You don't have Batman. You don't have Superman. So there are things that I'm probably going to not be able to. There are things I'm not going to be able to use and not going to be able to say. So it would make sense to continue on with a sequel to be similar to the previous universe where we talked about Batman. We've talked about the Joker that we now don't have. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make a soft reboot of it to keep these characters that we've had in the first movie, bring them over to the second movie and move on with a different mindset. Mm-hmm. That's what I take his soft reboot to be. That's the only way to take it because you can't make a Suicide Squad 2 and keep the same mindset from the Suicide Squad 1. The Suicide Squad 1 had Batman in it. Suicide Squad 2 had the Joker in it. It talked about those different things and analogies from what was supposedly the DCEU as a whole. But
Mhm.
since all of that has gone to the wayside, we need another direction. We need to keep the same people and keep the same thought process, but not the same mindset.
Okay, yeah, and I agree with that because it's just like I would love to see what James Gunn's saying for the Suicide Squad. I was actually kind of upset that when they decided to do a Suicide Squad movie because they were incorporating that into Arrow, and what you seen from season 2 of Arrow of the Suicide Squad was amazing. Like Bronze
Yeah,
Tiger, Deathstroke, not Deathstroke,
yeah,
Deathshot. It was amazing in season 2.
it really was, it really was. And then you tell them, well, we want to use these characters, so we're gonna take them from y'all. Y'all can't use them more.
Exactly,
And
exactly,
then now y'all not doing nothing with it.
exactly. Now it's just
That's like borrowing my copy of Smash Brothers, and then I come to your house. You played it yet? No, I ain't played it. Man, give my copy back.
so. So before we wrap up, I did want to ask you one more question about DC. Some and people have asked me my perception or my interpretation of this, and I just want to ask you: do you think that Static Shock will ever be in some form of live action on either on the CW, the DC universe, or movies? Do you think he'll ever make it?
No movie, DC Universe or CW,
And why?
possibly.
Why do you think so?
Because I don't trust the movies.
Yeah.
I don't trust Warner Brothers the movies, and I say DC Universe more than anything because they've reintroduced Static inside Young Justice season 3, and they're starting to flesh him out a little bit more. Like I said, I haven't watched any of the Young Justice, but looking at everything they were reporting leading up to it, Static was being named a lot. I don't want to see a Static Shock movie because I don't think it'll be done to justice. But I will trust a CW series. I mean, you could even introduce him in Black Lightning. He could be a
Yeah.
new kid that moved to Freeland.
Mhm.
Or I trust a DC universe. I don't even know how much the thing costs. I might have to see how much it costs to get
I think it's like
it.
for like the whole month is like $20 a month, right? But
Ooh, no.
but no, I take that back, take that back. It's like $10 a month, but for the whole year it's like $74. So you just pay a one-time fee of $74 and you get all the content and you just re-up each year.
Hmm.
So I haven't bought it yet. And it's not because of my necessarily finances, but I feel as though like if I can get it for free, I'm gonna get it for free.
There
So
you go.
I'm just that's where I'm at with that. But yo, thank you once again, Malcolm, for doing this interview right here on my show, Ask Alex. Tell the people where they can find you on different social medias.
Guys, you know who we are. We're FANDOMSANONYMOUS. We're all over social media. Right here on YouTube, on the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. Go follow us on Instagram. That's at Fandoms what a man. Let me look at the thing back here. I forget sometimes. At Fandoms_Anonymous 17. And we're also on the Fandoms Anonymous Facebook page. So that's where you can find us. And you can find us next weekend in Pensacola, Florida at Pensacola 2019. We'll be there all weekend. Just find the guys in the black shirts on Saturday.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video and to my YouTube channel. And also, go ahead and hit up Malcolm's page at Fandoms Anonymous. He puts out really dope reviews, trailer reviews, and also really good commentary to certain current events as well. So go check out his channel. And like he said, he will be there at in Pensacola at Pensacon for Saturday at 4 p.m. doing his panel, and also he'll just be there as well at Comic Con, enjoying the Comic Con as well. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and be a patriot at my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Momentum Media. We just got started on Patreon, so I really do appreciate you guys donating that $1 or $2 to my page to produce great content. My name is Alex Hampton. Thank you, Malcolm, once again for coming to Ask Alex. And you guys have a
Thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page to get more exclusive content coming from my YouTube channel. And if you want to watch my previous videos, go ahead and click on this video up here or this video down here, where you get to see more exclusive content coming from my channel. Thank you guys for watching this video, and you guys have a blessed day.